Right then, it's been a while. Hello and all. This is a slightly different video to the usual sort of review I do because it's not about a guitar this time, it's about a piece of hardware. And you know what the hardware is because you've already clicked the link. This one's interesting to me because I've always been interested in things that make life a little bit easier when recording and are inexpensive, as you've seen before, what I like to do. The Line 6 Pod 2.0 was, at the time, lauded. People loved it. It was such an interesting and useful piece of equipment that had put things together that up until then had been out of the reach of most people. They were either too expensive or they were too complicated, or they were stage rigs or they were studio rigs. And this just made a more accessible way of recording or playing, or as I used to do, all three. I used to do studio rehearsals, used to record with it. I've done live gigs with it, using it instead of a head, just plugged straight into a cabinet. And the reason why is because it's so versatile. And this little video is just debunking a few of the myths that you will have heard by, let's be fair, snobs over the years. Yes, there are some dubious sounds that you can get out of it, but that's Line 6 for you. Line 6 often either go too extreme, hence their amps, or they go very, very subtle, hence their guitars, which you may remember I did a review pretty much last year on the Line 6 Variacs. And the good thing they always do, though, is they always improve. So the first one of these that came out was okay. Second one, 2.0, I think pretty much set the standard for about 10 years in what you could and couldn't do with multi-effects processors and amp mods. So I got this for next to nothing this week, and it was a good little find. So not only is it in good condition, it's also in the original box. And that says a lot. All right, whoever had this looked after it, and they really did. Let's have a little look. It's turned into an unboxing video, but we were on the internet. What do you want? So, in the box you'll find the traditional useless packaging. Got a power supply that comes with this one as well. And because the guy's a legend, he gave me 2 quarter-inch adapters. Gold dust. Nice little Planet Waves one there, actually. That's brilliant. And I should be using them in this video. So, leave them in there. The other thing this came with was the original plastic. I mean, this is mothballed, you know, and the manual. Now, the manual you need sometimes, but we're going to go through some of the things here to sort of get rid of the manual out of the equation. So, cardboard away. And we focus on this unit. Yeah, often referred to as the kidney bean. You know? Anyway, I think it's more of a spaceship sort of sound. First thing you notice about these things, if you've never held one before, is they're actually metal. It's a proper metal frame, right? Very substantially made. This is in very good condition as well. The one I had was all chipped to bits. Look, still got the old Line 6 quality control sticker on it. Second time in a row I bought a product from them secondhand where it has had that. So fair play to them. They're made in Korea again, once again. And what this does, don't think of it more as an effects processor or a multi-effects pedal or a controller. Think of it more as an amp sim. More like the Line 6 amps that they made at the time, but better. Because I think the speakers let them down more than the actual electronics in them. So what you have here, we'll go through the top bit first. So we do the technical bit, and then we'll make some noise. The noise is going to be made, and you'll see a little thing in the bottom of your screen, which will show me working all the different effects and amp sims and how it works live as I'm playing. And then we'll do a little song with it, because you want noise, and there will be noise in this video, don't worry. So, we have an output level, which is basically a master volume, right? I will say another thing, all of these knobs on here are so substantial, really, really well made and satisfying. They work, and they're very, very responsive as well, two-tone. So you have output level, right? Master volume. You have a drive, right? This is a very high gain drive at times, right? Which is what people think about it now. But when you look into the cleaner channels, it's quite subtle. Works very well. So you've got bass, middle, and treble, as you would on most amplifiers. And then you have a channel volume. This channel volume is actually for the effects, you see. So when you put that in through there, it also works through the outputs. So you've got reverb, and there's a way, I'll show you in a minute, how you can get sort of plate reverbs, room reverb, sort of ambience, and also a big hall sounding reverb. And then you have the effect tweak, which is what this knob does. We'll come to that in a minute. So what we have in the amp models, we'll zoom in a little bit closer for this, so you can see it. Hopefully you can read that. We'll read them out anyway. The bottom one comes up as a tube preamp. Think of it more like a tube screamer. The TS9 is the closest I can think of. Works very well. It's like a clean boost, extra decibels, makes it think, if you're driving it for a speaker, makes it think it's working harder. The next one underneath it is a line 6 clean. Now, the line 6 ones, I will say here, a little bit brittle. Just be aware of that. We'll go through them. You'll hear it. So you've got clean, you have a crunch. All of these could be manipulated live through these, by the way, every single one of them. You have a drive, which is sort of like a more of a compressed sound. You have what's called a layer, right? So that means you've got a clean sound with a boost on top of it. You have a small tweed, so it's basically like an old Fender. You'd be looking at like not like a twin, but like a Champ or something like that. Then you have a tweed blues. That would be more like a Fender twin. You have a black panel, which is like the later Fenders. That's very nice, actually. That one's more like a DeVille, sort of like hot rodded a little bit. You have modern Class A. Right, modern Class A, I always put like more like a later Marshall amp, more like a Mode 4 type thing. Very dry. Brit Class A, right? This one, you're looking at I'd call it like a JCM, something like that. Once again, you can manipulate all these together. We'll go through these in a minute. Brit Blues. You have Brit Blues, Brit Classic, and Brit High Gain. Think of this as an AC15, the Brit Classic as an AC30, and the Brit High Gain an AC30 with a treble booster. You can Brian May the hell out of it with this one. This one here, you have tread plate, right, which is a little bit weird. We'll go through that one in a minute. And the modern high gain, which I think is what everyone originally used this for. The modern high gain is the typical, let's scoop the mids, bass up, treble up, and corn, that sort of stuff. It was 2000, what do you expect? But you can tweak this back to a really, really nice tone. And then you have a fuzz box. I didn't expect that fuzz box to be so good. You have to be careful with the drive, the gain, so that it's about 12 o'clock, it really, really works. And you can get some lovely tones out of it. Really, really nice. And then we're back to the tube amp again. And what these are, you can switch between these in mid-song. You don't have to do it. You can preset your own stuff in it as well. But you can just go, okay, I want a clean channel. And there are ways of attaching a channel selector to go with this. I have one of those upstairs. I'm going to use that in another video. And they work really, really well. So the next part is, you see the tap hold button here? This one here. What you can do is you can tap that, and when you use the treble, this is like the little device for changing it, and this one here, you can turn it from a 1x12 to a 2x12, 4x12, and a 4x10, and a 1x8. So you can change the sound like a combo all the way up to a big concert cabinet speaker. And that works. The fatness you get, particularly on the high gain one and on the modern Class A one, on that one, it really, really does work. Now, the effects. These ones are interesting because you're not going to get a lot of overdrive effects. In fact, there are none. This is your overdrive effect. It's encouraging you to use the amp as the overdrive. What you have instead is you've got bypass here, obviously, a compressor, which works quite well, if not a little bit cutty. It's more like a noise gate. Tremolo, which you can adjust the effects like this, and you can use the tap to actually set the speed of the tremolo. You can make it sound like a Leslie at some stages. You've got two different types of chorus. One is a little bit more harmonic than the other one. A little bit strange, that one. I'm not keen on the second one. Then you have a flanger 1, flanger 2. Flanger 1's very Led Zeppelin, very Van Halen, 1978. Led Zeppelin, twat. I'm excited, you can see. Flanger 2 has this droning note that goes through it. Very good if you want to hold stuff. You can get a bit of Gilmore out of it as long as you take the drive down. The rotary works really, really well because it pans either side, and you can get that sort of Hendrix buzz. I always say it's like Wind Cries Mary sort of buzz. Keep it clean for that one, I recommend. The delays are great because you can tap the delay sound, and if you put the level up, you can get this beautiful infinite delay. And once again, you like that Eric Johnson sound, or if you want that Dave Gilmour sound, you can get a really, really good tone of it. Nice and fat. Delay compressor is good if you're using high gain. If you're using the high gain one here, so you put that on high gain, right? You've got the drive up here, put the compressor on. It's as though you've just turned the amp down by about 20%. It's very, very good. Delay tremolo, I didn't like, but we'll go through it. It's just got too much. It's good to be holding notes. If you want to do a bit of shoegazing, a bit of Sonic Youth, that's what it's good for. Delay chorus is good fun because the chorus comes in at the second part of the delay. So you play the whole note and then it comes through on the second part. So it's almost like you've got an accompaniment. Makes it really, really fat with chords, particularly clean chords. There's 2 of those as well. The delay flanges are a little extreme, but once again, turn the drive down. That's all that matters. That's why people should have one of these. They're so versatile. People knock them out of 2 extremes. Line 6, blah, 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 blah. Turn the sound down. You'll be fine. This is a great one, though. You've got delay swell, and it almost sounds like it's playing backwards. And you can get these beautiful sort of almost like violin tones out of it, as long as you've got a nice fat tone behind it. And the guitar I'm going to be using to demo this is my Ibanez, the SG. So it's interesting using a guitar that was 25 years older than this, and it's 25 years on from this one. So we've got 50 years of instruments and hardware going into the next piece of music. And this is going in straight into the computer, by the way. There won't be any other sounds. There won't be any other manipulation. Now, I'm talking for 12 minutes. I apologize. No, I don't. I love my own voice. Let's just have a quick look at the back and then we'll make some proper noise for you. Right, simple on switch. Easy going. Nice and substantial. Very good. Power supply, recommend using the one that they supply it with. I have 2 of them now. And the power supply for this one, it's 9 volts. So, but there's no batteries in this one. And there's also a nice little bit there so you can fit it onto a stand. These are MIDI in and out. Very good for controllers. Say you can buy the foot control switches. They work very, very well. That's the best part of them, actually. You have the Ethernet cable attachment here. Bit outdated now, but you can still connect it to a lot of things. I have one of these on the Variax as well, so you can actually use this as a controller with the Variax. I haven't tried that yet. That's going to be fun. I never got to try the 2 of these together. That's another video, I think. The other good one you have here is stereo outputs. So you've got left and right, which is brilliant. And the good thing about this is it pans 50-50 straight away. Difficult to manipulate, but you can do it using these buttons here. This is manual here. There is also a tuner on this, by the way. The one thing I didn't mention, actually, is this noise gate. You could do that in fractions, so it's quite responsive, particularly if you're using very gainy, very, very growly sounds. This here is a direct amp, so if you just want to plug straight in and you hit that, you come out of this, which is the headphone jack. This is what I'm going to be using because I'm not going to split this both ways. I'm just going to put it straight in. Because I want it to be as clean and direct as possible to actually show you the honest sound that this wonderful little kidney bean can make. So, next thing you're going to see is you're going to see a little bit in the bottom of your screen right here, and it's going to be this. And then you're going to see my ugly mug with a lovely old Ibanez just running through some sounds, and it's going to be voiceover, so you don't have to listen to guitar strings twanging badly on a camera phone. Okay, 14 minutes and 40 seconds. Let's make some noise. Next.
Right, here we go. This is all live. It goes on for a little while, but it's going to be done through a clean channel first and then through the full high gain. And I'm just going to go through all these different effect loops live, and hence the 2 camera angles. And you can see how easy it is to manipulate all the knobs and things now. I'm just going to be tuning up a little bit here. The output level started off a little bit high, so just do watch your ears. I do turn it down in a minute. This is actually going through one of the Tweed channels, the clean channel, but I end up switching back to the line 6 clean one just because I think it's a little bit better quality just for this recording. You may notice there's a couple of peaks on this recording because I didn't use any mastering on this. I just wanted to go through as it is. I recorded a little bit too loud. Gets the point across. There's the reverb there, very, very good. Yeah, back up to the line 6 clean sound now. That's the double tap there. That's the interesting thing is when you increase that sound, it gets almost like a Leslie. It's quite a nice sound. More tuning, obviously. The joys of Bixby's. See the way I'm adjusting the tap and the reverb at the same time? That's how you get from plate reverb into a room into a hall. Back a bit there. You can see the way I'm using the tap key again. Very responsive. This one, as you'll see later on, doesn't really go well with a bit of distortion, but it's beautiful clean. Here you'll see me turning it up live. You can see how easy it is to swap over sound very quick. Now this rotary is great fun. Watch me play with the tap settings here and increase it the speed. And even with humbuckers like this, which are quite low output, it's still got a nice glassy ring to it. Quite fun. Now we're going to have some fun with some nice delay settings. Watch the increase in delay coming up and repeats. Also watch the tap. Apologies for the slight drop in sound quality there, that's because this is going in mono, not in stereo. This is the delay with the compression. It's a lot easier to control, a lot more creamy sound. Nice. Sorry, Hank Marvin, I apologise. This is the delayed tremolo. Very, very nice. Now this is actually the delay and chorus. There's two of these. The first one's not, and the second one, I think. This is the second one. I think it's a little bit over the top. Although it does sound better with the neck pickup over the bridge pickup on this. And the next one is a delayed flanger. It's got a bit of Stevie Nicks vibe about it. This one has a bit of fun. Turn it up. Now this one is the delay flanger 2, has a sympathetic drone like a sitar. Now this is gorgeous. It's called the delay swell, so it almost sounds like backwards guitar. Little bit of chorus on this as well would be nice. It sound like a violin. Better when it's tuned. Once again proving how easy it is to increase a certain effect using the tap. Right, so that's the clean done. We're going to go on to some overdrive now and distortion. We're going to use the modern high gain channel, and yeah, you can see how quickly I can dial in a tone. Keeping the drive quite low at the moment. I don't want it to be too dirty. Everything's pretty much at 12 o'clock, which is interesting. Make it a bit dirtier. There we go. All live sound.
congratulations. You have made it to the end of a very long video. Use the headphones. I'm actually just mixing a little bit of music we made. I say a little bit. They ended up being about 40 minutes of noodling. But there you go. What I was trying to do was just demonstrate how you can manipulate this flying machine live. And if you do it like I just did it, tweaking all the way through it, messing with the reverb, messing with the drives, and then going through all of the effect settings and things like that, you can really have some fun with it. And I can testament that you can play it live. You can use it as an amp head. I recommend you don't use a lot of those effects, like the rotary ones, live. They tend to get a little picky at the top. But if you're using it dry, put it through a 4x12, it's just an amp head. It works very well. Or if you, even better, you can put this in before you put it into a computer. Use it as a preamp. That's what I'm really buying it for, really, because I use a lot of amps daisy chained together in a lot of videos that I put up on here. You've probably seen them, and usually I use a very small Boss Micro BR as a preamp. What it does, it just takes away a lot of that hiss and hum from multiple amps all daisy chained together. But I'm probably going to use this in future. Right, just put it on a nice little clean channel, or the tube, the preamp one, something like that. Put that a bit low for you there, one of these. And what I'm going to use it for is to make my sound a little bit more fat, interesting. So there you go. Would I advise buying one? Yeah. About 100 quid. That's what I'd pay for it, if I was paying for it. Because it's old technology by today's status, but if you want to go down the modern route of modern digital recording or digital modelling or digital effects, sometimes you have to download tone ports, you have to do stuff involving, if you're going on to Pro Tools, you have to download certain things to go into it, you have to tweak and you have to do stuff, but it's all done using a mouse pad or it's all done through touch screen. This just has a little bit of tactile fun about it, analog in a digital medium, which I like. That's my sort of thing, really. I like the sort of odd, really, or the pod. See what I did? Yeah. Fuck's sake. Anyway, you have been very patient if you've got this far, and I appreciate watching the video, and I hope it was helpful. I'm off now to listen to more of my own noodling, put it through the machine, and see how bad it sounds. My hands, that is, not this. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye.